everyone, how are you today? I hope you guys are having an incredible day today. So I was listening to Dosavia from Scorpio Mystique. If you guys have never checked out Scorpio Mystique, you need to check it out, especially if you're a Scorpio. She's honestly such an incredible astrologer and everything. And if you guys haven't checked her out on Twitter and Instagram at scorpiomystique.com, on a website, and Scorpio Mystique on both Twitter and Instagram, and a few other platforms I'm sure she's on, but those are the main two I follow her on. So she had done, Dosavia, the owner, had done a podcast today. She uploaded it today. She had done it a few days ago, I guess, and it was called 2020 Ascension. And what it is she was talking about the end of the decade and the beginning of the new decade, 2020. And just the importance of everything happening right now astrologically. And there was a lot of things she said that literally reminded me of stuff I had already been thinking about, but just confirmed it. And honestly, there's so many things on my mind that I wanted to talk about. And I thought I might as well just create a video and then, try to figure out how to do the audio onto my podcast so I have more podcast audios so I can post up more podcasts. Because honestly, I want to post up as much as I can on podcasts. It's so much easier to talk, but not as much of like the quality that I would want. So I'm trying to figure this out. So as I'm doing that, I'm just trying to do both of this. So I'm putting this on my daily vlog because I hadn't posted earlier and I wanted to start it off, and my GoPro is currently charging and all that. So now back to my thoughts. One of the things I thought about that I think it's a very big change is, before I used to think of like cutting people off to cut people off because they are not right for you in your life. But now I'm trying to think of it like maybe it's not just cutting people off. Like maybe we don't need to just cut people off. Maybe you just need time. And that time can honestly mean a week, a month. That time can mean a decade. If it's the time in which, like that time, the thing is that we need to accept that people need to grow and not judge them for the fact that they haven't grown. I think that is so important. One of the things I was thinking about is, this sense of like pride that a lot of people have. And sometimes people are very proud to have that pride. And honestly, like before, I used to be like, you're proud to have this pride, like that's not a good thing. But honestly, like instead of thinking about it in a judgmental mindset, like why don't we think about it as like in an opening mindset? Like this person probably has so much going on in their life. Like you don't know 100% what's going on in another person's life. You don't. You never, I want to stress this enough. Nobody knows 100% what's going on in another person's life. Sometimes they don't even know what's going on in their own life. And I don't mean like, day to day. I mean like there's certain things, and I've realized within myself and in other people, there's certain things that people as a living mechanism, in order to be alive, their mind purposely cuts out things that happened when they were little. And it blocks that stuff out. Sometimes in order to survive, your mind will block things out on purpose. And sometimes us as people need to, we figure it out and we learn it over time. So maybe the person themselves don't even remember all the stuff that's happened. So how, if they don't even remember, how are they going to tell you 100% that's ever happened in their life? They're not. And also, like, people just, it's okay for them to not tell you 100% what has ever happened in their life. It's okay. As long as it doesn't have anything to do with you. Now, if it's things that does have to do with you, whether you're in a relationship or stuff of that nature, you know, that's why things get tricky. But honestly, in like a friendship mindset, because that's like the best way I can kind of explain things, you can't expect a friend to 100%, like for you to know 100% of what a friend is going through or has went through, or even if you know it, you don't really understand it. Sometimes you don't really understand it. And that's why you have to kind of like change your mindset from like this judgmental mindset, because like everybody judges. Like, again, I say this all the time, I have judged people. Everybody else has judged me. Everybody has judged everybody in their life, and everybody will judge everybody in their life if they don't stop this societal thought process of judging. I want you to understand this. Judging is such a normal thing. We do say in our lives, you know, it's bad to judge. But then in our daily lives, we are judging things. Judging is like, and then there's also this form of like judging is also good and bad. You know, like judging, telling a person her outfit looks nice is technically a judgment. You are deciding whether it's good or bad. That is a judgment. So like, what's a normal societal thing? The Oscars. How many times have you decided if something a person wore on the red carpet was pretty or ugly? How many times have you judged someone on the street for looking weird or looking gorgeous? You know, there's so many things and ideas of judgment, and that's why you have to understand everybody judges everybody. But you do have to get into this mindset of trying to avoid it and trying to work through those judgments. Realize that you do judge people, no matter who you are. You've judged every single person in your life, good or bad. In any way, shape, or form, you've judged someone. Then it's being like, okay, admitting you have judged people, and then working through changing your mindset in order to be open to their things and not have to judge everything everybody does. Because again, everybody does everything for a reason, and you might not know what everybody's reasons are. You are never gonna know unless someone tells you. And you know, they might not even know 100% themselves at a certain moment. So that was the back statement of what I'm saying currently and what I've been thinking about. So my thought process is you can't judge someone for things that have happened in their life that you don't know. And there's so many things that people do and how people are. So people do have a sense of pride in certain cases, and they're proud of their pride because of whether they looked up to it because someone else had it in their family, or you know, that is a mechanism that they have learned to create in order to avoid getting hurt, or all these things. Instead of judging the person for being proud of their pride, you know, be understanding to these people, being understanding to people in general. So back to what I was saying about just this idea of being okay and open to the fact that not everybody's meant to be in your life right now. That is something that I've learned over time, but that doesn't mean that they're never going to be in their life. You're never going to be in your life, but that doesn't mean that they're going to come back into your life. It's kind of like things will happen as they go. So you can't just sit here and say, like, I'm cutting this person off forever. No, because you never know. Like, there are times in which they do grow up, you know, like, and not saying that people who you're cutting off are always going to be immature, because that's not the case. Honestly, some of the most mature people I know, because they've grown up so fast, have had these certain mindsets. I don't think it has something to do with maturity, because it's all different. They're in like different realms. And different people can mature in different ways in different realms of their life. And so it's not, I don't think, and like now I'm trying to figure out, I don't think it's a maturity issue. I think it's just, we just need to be open. That's one of the things that I'm like processing right now. I think open is the right word. We need to be open to the different levels of people's lives. And sometimes people just need to, they just need a certain level of growth in that level of time, space, realm, I guess. Like, I'm trying to find, I know the idea, but I'm trying to like explain it through words. Sometimes it's harder, but you know, so the thought process of this is trying to explain something, trying to figure out, you know, not everybody's never going to be in your life again. It's being okay with the moment instead of just having to cut everybody off, because like it's what you feel in that moment. So at one moment you might feel like right now I need space from this person. I don't know how long it's going to be, a week, a month, a year, 10 years, 20 years. I don't know what it's going to be, but I do need space in order to heal myself, or for them to heal themselves, or for all of us to heal. Healing is not a linear process. Does that make sense? Like, you don't heal in chronological order. It's not like this step and this step and this step and then you're finally healed. I feel like the healing comes in different stages. Healing comes in different parts of your life. And healing is very important for a lot of different things. And some people heal from one thing but then still need to heal from another. So there's a process to this stuff. There's a lot of things that come in and out of the healing process, the thought process, the, you know, all this stuff. And, you know, there's some people that you want to just cut out and say you cut out immediately in your life, like out of your life. But then honestly, like, some people, look, if they did do something really bad to you, like, you have the right to not want to bring them back into your life. And again, like, I'm not saying they're ever gonna come back. I'm not saying they're never gonna come back. You know, like, because honestly, like, you know, there's, and honestly, I can't speak for anybody else, but I can speak for myself. There is nobody in my life at this current moment that I can say will never come back into my life in one way, shape, or form. Anybody might come back into my life for something, you know, whether it's just to sit down and have a conversation once a year or once a decade, you know, like it, you know, I'm thinking about things in like an adult mindset. And when I say that, I mean like, okay, there's certain people in your life when you're in college that, you know, you do see a lot more often throughout the year. But then once you start becoming a mother, a wife, you know, so you have your priorities do shift. So then you're not going to see these people as often throughout the year. And I mean, granted, that's not a good or a bad thing. People just have stuff in their lives, you know. You can see, if you care enough, you will see them every so often. Like, you know, you'll try to put the effort to plan things, so you work out, so you like hang out with them certain times, but sometimes it's not going to be all the time. You know, like, other than family, and a family that I'm trying to create through my socials, which is through like Instagram, YouTube, my podcasts, my vlogs. I'm trying to create this family through all of you because there's so much that I say that I know I can help, and I want to create that family for, look, I'm not gonna lie, for security for my own future, but also like I know that I can help in the words that I say, because my thought process is I'm always in motion, and like I've noticed that there's so many people that they don't understand the thought process of their emotions, not emotions but also emotions, but like the motion of their mind. Some people just avoid the motions of their mind, their thought processes. Some people, honestly, I think there's certain, like, I think anxieties, honestly, I'm gonna say one of the things I've been intrigued by, not that I know, because I don't know anything about it, but I have been intrigued thinking that there's a possibility that just like dreams, like, I don't know if you understand the way dreams work in certain points, but dreams are your subconscious working through the stresses in your conscious life. So when you're stressed out a lot more, you're gonna have more vivid dreams rather than if you're not as stressed. And you won't sleep as much when you are stressed because your mind's constantly still working, and you don't get as much REM sleep, which in turn you're not sleeping well because you're not hitting, because in order to really feel like you're deeply sleeping, you have to hit REM. And when you dream, well, from what I've understood, when you dream, you're not in REM. You're like in that movement going to REM. And so then when you're in REM, it's very little compared to when like that little process going in and out. And so if you're dreaming more and more vividly, you're not in REM fast enough, like long enough. So then you're not sleeping well. So then when you wake up, you're not sleeping as much as normal. So then you do get a little bit more irritated. And that's where like kind of like stipples along. I'm trying to, I don't think, because I don't know. I haven't really researched this. This is just me thinking. I think that certain, not all anxieties, but I think some anxieties have something to do with not knowing how to internalize not knowing how to understand the stressors in your life and how to actually like work through them. I've noticed with myself that when I don't take the time to figure out my head, everything that I'm going through, everything that I'm thinking about, just my process, I get more anxious. I feel more down. I don't feel as like energetic. I feel more lazy. And so like I feel like all those things kind of go in order, like they kind of come together. Now, again, this is just me noticing it myself. I have not been diagnosed with anxiety in any way, shape, or form. I have not been diagnosed with anything really other than like eczema. Has nothing to do with the brain. So, that doesn't matter. I'm just noticing as me as a human, just how I notice myself. Obviously, there are more extents to other people. So I'm just thinking about like my own, what I consider my own anxieties, I feel like have more to do with stresses in my life. The more stresses I don't deal with consciously that force into the subconscious that then somehow tries to work itself out, but then sometimes you end up getting more stressed. It ends up being like a domino effect. I noticed that those get worse with that. So that's something that I'm intrigued by. I'm thinking about a lot more. I'm trying to learn through other people and how I see things and all that stuff. So that's just something on my mind recently. How did I get through this? I do that a lot. Sometimes I forget what I'm saying, and yeah, my head's all over the place. I'm trying to see what else to say. Oh, families. So back to everything always goes in round circle. So I know that there's a lot of things that I say that can help someone. And if I can scale what would be a one-to-one with a friend or someone I care about, you know, in helping them out, I'm trying to focus on helping this family that I want to create through my socials. So the platform in which we're all hanging out at are considered social media. But I do think that the genuine impact that can really come from what everybody considers us like social media as like a only fun and entertainment purposes, I think can also be helping them. It can be very useful for helping, whether it's, you know, you're going through something and you just need some entertainment to like get away or really learn about yourself. There's so many things that I kind of are starting to learn myself, and I want to show as much as possible in trying to figuring things out. There's so many things. Like, if I can sit here and tell you everything that I'm like trying to learn and process, but it's a process through time. So that's why I'm doing these vlogs. Although, you know, my camera looks really nice to do like just sit down talks. That's probably what I'm gonna do if I do sit down talks, and just everything else like through just movements are gonna be on my GoPro. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I have on my mind right now. I literally like paused the podcast like 30 minutes in. No, like it was like halfway. It's like 40 minutes. So I paused it like 22 minutes in just to like sit down and tell you guys this, because I was processing so much in my head, and then I realized, like, why don't I just talk to them? They can learn more about my head, learn more about who I am. Sometimes, like, one of the things she did say in the podcast was that there's so many, at certain points, we are afraid to be out there because of all the stigmas that are out. And honestly, like, there's so many people I can help rather than the people that are going to not like me for whatever case scenario. I know there's so many people I can help in some way. Even if it's just like one thing I say and they get it and they literally know what they want to do for the rest of their life. Like, honestly, like that, or a tip that I give that changes the path of their career, or like helping them in some way. That is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do that as much as possible. Honestly, like, I truly, truly want to do so much. And I truly want to do so much just to share, because I know myself, there's so much that I feel like I needed when I was younger, and so I want to, and then turn around and help whoever I can in helping them when they're at this stage of their life that, you know, you're young. And I want to, like, honestly, there's so much that, like, especially in high school, like, you have all the time to do something that you love consistently and not have the worries of like the like making money all the time kind of thing. I'm not gonna say all the people, but I mean, like, most people, they at least have a roof over their head. No one is like, you know, kind of like rushing their time. They don't have this time clock until they graduate, as much as like after you graduate high school, like everybody kind of expects you to get your stuff together. And I wish I started this when I was in high school. And honestly, a lot of people that did start in high school and really, really continued it and made it consistent, they graduated and they didn't really need to go to college because they already had their career set. And sometimes I wish that I had started earlier. There's a story that I will tell you later on. But I do want to help maybe these people realize stuff that they want to do for their whole life, and actually like tell them and like get them to really like believe in themselves. And that can help so much. Just the thought process of truly believing yourself and truly trusting the process of your life can change. It can get you to go so much faster within your success. Like, success means different to different people, but I feel like in believing in yourself, your success comes faster. And even though I can't say that I am 100% where I want to be right now, but I am trusting the process, and I do know that I still have to focus on the present moment, because honestly, with another story that I'll say another day, people do leave your life, and it might not be willingly, it might be through death and all that, so you do have to appreciate the people that you have around your life right now. And that's probably, if there's anything that you leave with, it's trust the process, believe in yourself, and be in the present moment. Try to avoid waiting until be happy in the future. Try to be happy right now with what you have, whether it's through yourself if you don't have anybody, or also with, you know, your family, your friends, and all that stuff. People that you feel are very important to you, that you know has made a big impact on you. Try to be in the present moment with them as much as possible, but also keep the same work ethic that you always have. Thank you guys for listening to this. I don't even know how long it is. I think it's like 25 minutes. So, you know, that's how we roll now in this lifetime. So I'm going to continue. Today, I honestly rewire everything I do all the time. Today, I'm like honestly just so into like selling so much stuff on eBay. One of the things that Dulcevia said was also to purge. So I'm trying to like purge everything of mine that I don't want. I've been having it sit here for I don't know how long, and I'm just trying to sell everything I can on eBay. Honestly, like, I don't know about Poshmark that much. I tried doing things on Poshmark, but unless it's like used makeup, like a eyeshadow palette I've used like 5 times in my lifetime. Unless it's that, I don't really think I should use anything on Poshmark. I don't know, Poshmark, between like the fees that it takes from you, I feel like eBay is such a safer bet, honestly, and it's easier for me to use eBay. I'm used to it and all that. Okay, so enough of me rambling. If you guys have not already checked out me and my other podcasts, please let me know and leave a comment down below, please. Like, I'd really appreciate it if you just tell me whether you like it, whether you don't like it. Tell me your thoughts. If you want to have this conversation with me, you can check me out on Twitter or Instagram. They are both at Vickynicole, VICKYNICOLEE_. And if you want to check me out on YouTube, Victorianicole, VICTORIA_NICOLE. Love you guys. Bye. Hello. So earlier, oh, there's a smudge. Hold up a second. All right, there you go. So earlier, are you just gonna stare?
I'm not staring.
Okay, so earlier, I went to my grandparents. Alexa, I did not say Alexa. I said earlier.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's proceed. So earlier, I got my nails done. I went to my grandparents' house. I came back. I filmed that little vlog piece that you said that you saw already. I haven't vlogged much today. It had been raining and there was a lot of stuff I had to do for some of my eBay stuff. I wanted to just list so many things that I had to list, so I listed around like 20, maybe 25. I didn't list everything that I had that I haven't listed yet, but there is a lot that I have listed, so that was a big jump because I literally have been waiting for like a month to list things, and I kept saying I was lazy, but I was listening to Dosavia's podcast, and that literally was like, okay, I'm gonna do it right now. So did that, packed up some other stuff from eBay that I already sold, so I packed that up. What else did I do? Posted up my vlog. If you have not checked out vlog 2 and vlog 1, go check it out right after this. I'll put little cards or something around here, so go check that out. I filmed 2 mini videos that I'm posting up on IG in the next maybe 2 weeks, not exactly sure, 1 or 2 weeks, so stay tuned for that. I did not vlog it. I completely forgot. I was charging my GoPro. My GoPro was dead. Fully, totally, completely, you get the drift. Yeah. So now I'm going to dinner, bringing in dinner, I guess. So we'll see what I can vlog by then.